Good afternoon, everybody. We are at the end of an incredible conference. Woo! Yeah, an absolutely amazing week. I had such a pleasure meeting everybody here. The conversations, the dialogue, the network, the friends that we have met. I'm so pleased to have had the chance to meet everybody from around the world. And I can honestly say, Trail people, you are my people. As we close out our time together, I do want to recognize some of the many people that made this conference the incredible success that it is today. So first off, let's thank the staff here at the Delta. Woo! Thank you, Delta, for taking such incredible care of all of us. Exceptional service. Next, I'd like to thank all of our amazing sponsors. Please raise your hand if you're still here with us. Thank you for your unwavering support. It definitely wouldn't be possible to put on an event like this without the generosity of all of our partners. And also, let's get to the conference organizers. Let's start with Jackie, Randall, and all the volunteers from the World Trails Network. So many incredible volunteers. Bringing all this together is a major undertaking, so thank you. It's been so much fun working with you to plan this. Let's also shout out to Outdoing Events Company. So Janet and Lynn for your event planning skills. Woo, wave. And at Trans-Canada Trail, I'd like to huge shout out to both Trevor Hunsberger and Allison Leonard. Please wave. I know you've put countless hours and time into planning this, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And as well to all the staff from the Trans-Canada Trail that are wearing the blue vests. Please wave. Thank you so much for all of your help. You were so gracious at getting us from room to room and always answering so many questions. So it's awesome. Well done, everybody. And also all the volunteers, all of you in the room. I know many of you come, and this is a volunteer role for you, and you spent 4 or 5 days with us, and this is a huge undertaking for everybody. So congrats to you, the volunteers in the room. Thank you so much for being here. And with this, I'll pass it over to Mathieu.
Thank you. Thank you, Megan. So, on behalf of Trans-Canada Trail, I really want to express my sincere gratitude to all of you, the volunteer, the speaker, the delegate, the sponsor, for joining us. Whether you travel from near or really far, like Australia, I think, that means a great deal to us. And I hope you enjoy Ottawa, Canada, and you had the chance to experience our great culture. And now, I would like to invite Jackie Randall, co-chair of the World Trail Network, to the stage for the closing remark and introduce the next host of the World Trails Conference.
Thank you, everyone. Wow. As the World Trails Conference 2024 draws to a close, I want to take a moment to reflect on the journey that we've shared over the past few days. It's been a whirlwind of inspiration, collaboration, and insightful discussions, and I'm truly grateful and humbled for each and every one of you who has come here and contributed to making this conference a resounding success. A great thank you to our esteemed attendees. Your engagement, curiosity, and dedication have been the heartbeat of this event. From passionate debates to thought-provoking workshops, your participation has not only enriched our conversations, it's paved the way for new ideas and innovations in the world of trails. To our wonderful hosts and sponsors, we extend our deepest gratitude. Your support is invaluable, and your commitment to the cause has been evident and deeply appreciated. Without your backing, this conference would not have been possible, and we're so thankful for your belief in the power of trails. Thank you to the WTN board and volunteers for your contributions in making this conference a success, and a special thank you to Julie Judkins, my co-chair of the conference, for getting here from North Carolina. So much appreciated. Over the past few days, we've had the privilege of exploring the many dimensions of trails, from their role in the environment, conservation, and sustainability, to their impact on local economies and personal well-being. We've seen how trails connect us to nature and each other, offering not just physical routes, but pathways to understanding and collaboration across borders. Personally, I've had many great conversations learning about your trails, about what's meaningful to you, and the issues that you face. The sessions, the film festival, the night at the museum, and getting to see that video of a caribou hiking along in Newfoundland, amazing. It's all been amazing. But I'd like to invite Hawk up for a moment to share a special moment that he would like to give to you.
Thank you, Jackie, and this is the unplanned part of the agenda, but I appreciate having a moment with all of you, and this has been a very inspirational week for us here at the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, and along with the knowledge and expertise and enthusiasm and creativity that comes with meeting a group of like-minded folks at a conference like this, I just want to take a moment to express my appreciation for the solidarity and compassion that has come forward. As many of you know, the Appalachian Trail was heavily damaged last weekend due to Hurricane Helene, and we've got a long road ahead to get it back to the desired state of a national scenic trail. So it's just my thank you to all of you for coming forward and expressing your support. We've been getting widespread support across the trails community and around the world. People want to know what they can do to help out. We're still early in assessment phases to determine exactly what the damage is, but we'll get this organized and figured out over time. So monitor AppalachianTrail.org if you want to see how we're progressing and maybe how your support can be realized. So thank you all very much.
Thank you, Hawk. Now, on a slightly lighter note, thank you to all of you who bought a toque and a membership to the WTN. Your support is greatly appreciated. There's still a few hats left, I believe. They're selling them in the back. Don't leave without yours. As we leave here, let's carry forward the knowledge and connections we've gained. Let's continue to advocate for the preservation and enhancement of trails, championing their role in fostering healthy communities and a sustainable planet. The ideas shared and the partnerships formed, as well as the friendships, have the potential to drive meaningful change and set the stage for future successes in our collective mission. While this conference may be ending, our journey doesn't stop here. I encourage each of you to stay engaged, keep the conversations going, and remain passionate about the vital work that we do. The world of trails is vast and full of opportunities, and together we can continue to make a lasting impact. Now, before moving on to introduce our 2026 conference hosts, I'd like to take a moment to offer a gift to the Trans-Canada Trail, and I'll ask Matthew and Julian to come on up. Julian, you can move a little faster.
Run.
Now, this walking stick is something that we traditionally do at each World Trails Conference, so thank you to everyone who took some time to add their wishes for trails to this stick. And I can see, like, from the last time I saw it, like half an hour ago, it's really been filled in.
Wow. Ewok stick.
That's right. I would like to ask Matthew to accept this stick on behalf of the TCT as our thanks and appreciation. Good. Perfect. Thank you. I'd now like to take the opportunity to introduce the next host of the World Trails Conference to be held in 2026 in Western Australia. Western Australia is the largest state in Australia and is known for stunning natural beauty, diverse landscapes, and offers everything from pristine beaches and dramatic coastlines to vast deserts and lush forests, along with fantastic hiking on the Bibbulmun Track and the Cape to Cape Track. Western Australia is focusing on sustainability and conservation. From ecotourism to renewable energy projects, the state is looking to balance growth with environmental responsibility. It's a land of contrasts and natural wonders where urban life meets stunning landscapes and rich cultural heritage. I'd like to turn it over to Neil Lefebvre, one of our newest board members. And Paige, are you coming up here? Or just Neil? Just Neil. Just Neil. It's just Neil, who will present a short video. So safe travels, everyone. Until we meet again, let's continue to blaze new trails and inspire others and each other along the way. Thank you so much.
She's stolen almost all my words, so I don't need to say too much. And I do just want to say, Jackie is an amazing salesperson. As I think you probably know, it doesn't get particularly cold in Australia, and I'm taking home 4 toques. So she's done really, really well. Okay, Kaya. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we have been meeting through this week, and I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. And particularly, I'd like to acknowledge any First Nations people from this region in the room here today. This is our traditional welcome from the Noongar people in Perth in Western Australia, who are the traditional owners of our land. Kaya is their word for meeting. As you're probably more familiar with in Australia, courtesy of movies, "G'day mate" is another thing those of you coming to Australia will hear quite often. And if you're not familiar with that, it's obviously the words for either hello or bonjour. I'd also like to thank the board of the World Trails Network and the team at Trans-Canada Trail for an amazing week that we've had this week. I'm sure many of you, like me, are going to be going home brimming with ideas from the week of inspiration that we've had, sharing thoughts with others, meeting new people. It's been a fantastic experience and really appreciate having had the opportunity to be here. As I mentioned, I come from Perth in Western Australia. And I'm here to accept, on behalf of the West Australian Government, the World Trails Conference coming to Perth in 2026. I'd like to take a few minutes to go for a geography lesson with you all, just to talk about Perth and Western Australia. And there's been a lot of discussion around pink elephants through the course of this week, and to address a real big pink elephant for us. So just about everybody I've spoken to has said, Australia, I'd love to come to Australia, but it's a long way away. So let's tackle this one first, with a geography lesson. Now, as I reveal this slide, I've also got another pink elephant that I've got to address straight away, because this is a very pretty stylised picture of the world, but as my cousins in New Zealand will notice, it is missing one very vital thing. So down at the south-east there should be New Zealand. There will be New Zealand. I've got a feeling as hosts we might be paying for a few flights for the New Zealanders to come over to ensure we get them there and haven't offended them. Oh, it doesn't matter about Tasmania. The New Zealanders is more important. Okay, so Perth has the dubious reputation of actually being the most isolated capital city in the world. So Singapore is closer to us than Sydney is. Some people in Western Australia are embarrassed about that fact. I actually think it's an amazing fact to celebrate, because that isolation has given us an amazing trails environment and an amazing landscape, which I want to share a bit more of with you. In terms of just some of those geographic facts, so we're a land area of 2.5 million square kilometres, and we've got 2.5 million people that live in the state. Doing the maths, that's a nice bit of land for each of us, although we're all rather crammed to one spot. In terms of the geography of Perth, so Western Europe, to give you a sense, all of Western Europe would fit inside Western Australia. For the Americans in the room, I'm assuming we've got some Americans in the room, that's 4 Texases would fit in all of Western Australia. So it's a pretty big state. It's also a sunny place to be. So we have an average of 3,000 hours of sunshine every year. We're the sunniest capital city in all of Australia. And as you can see with this picture and the scale of the state that's in that outline, we go from the tropics in the north down to the south, where we've got a beautiful kind of Mediterranean, Californian-style climate. Warm, but a nice cooling breeze to ensure you don't get too hot. We've got 20,000 kilometres of beaches that go around, so you can pretty much always find an isolated beach to yourself. Of course, unless there's a kangaroo hopping through, which this is not an AI image, this is a genuine beach, Lucky Bay, down on the southern ocean coast. Absolutely stunning place to go. It's probably the only place in Australia where you will find kangaroos on the beach, and they literally just lie around on the beach, lazing there through the day. It's a stunning spot. Lucky Bay also was voted to have the whitest sand of any beach anywhere in the world. Nice spot to get to. So I was mentioning that our size and our seclusion has its pluses, and in terms of those, Western Australia is known as an international biodiversity hotspot. We've got some of the most ancient landscapes on the planet and some of the earliest evidence of life on Earth. This is the Purnulu National Park in the Kimberley. It's 360 million years old. As you can tell from those photos, looks like an incredible structure and is an amazing place to go. And really importantly for you all, has got some amazing trails in and around it. In terms of biodiversity, 70% of all of Australia's biodiversity hotspots are within Western Australia. 80% of our plant species in Western Australia are endemic to Western Australia, so not only do they not exist in any other part of the world, they don't exist in any other part of Australia. Such is our isolation from our cousins on the east. A fact that I've always loved living there is our trees don't lose their leaves. Indigenous trees don't lose their leaves. They are green all year round. Our trees instead shed their bark. So many of the trees you'll go, and as you're driving through or hiking through, you get these amazing, smooth, silvery surface trees with a light which just captures beautifully. I mentioned the leaves are green, which is seemingly what all of Ottawa's trees seem to be this time of year as well. I was promised beautiful fall, and courtesy of, again, a bit of global warming, it looks like fall's coming a bit late for you guys. Also mentioned the fact that we have the earliest evidence of life on Earth. So this is the Shark Bay World Heritage Area. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Area, one of 4 UNESCO World Heritage Areas we have in the state. And under that boardwalk there is living marine stromatolites. So they're the earliest evidence of life, 3.5 billion years old, still living in existence, and an amazing place to visit. I'm going to go back to kangaroos. We all know Australia is known for its marsupials, its cute, cuddly koalas. If you've been past our booth, you might have grabbed a koala, and obviously our fantastic kangaroos. If you come to Perth for 2026, we can also promise you this. This is the quokka. The quokka was voted the happiest animal on Earth. I think you can see why. So the quokka only exists in one place in the world. It's on Wadjimup, Rottnest Island, which is literally just off the coast of Perth. It's an amazing place to be. It's a beautiful family spot, no cars, you can only cycle around the island. In planning with my colleagues here, we're already thinking about getting you all, because you're all coming, getting you all on a cycle tour around the island and enjoying some of the trails. They've got some great pubs on the island too, so enjoying a beer. And as you can see, it's become the concept of a quokka selfie. If you Google that, has become pretty popular. There's Thor himself, Chris Hemsworth, so literally every celebrity who comes through town gets a quokka selfie, hoping you can all get quokka selfies. So Rottnest is an amazing place for family and fun, but it's also a place that has a very tragic history for Australia as well, and reminds us of our shame of things that have happened in the past in our nation. So when settlers originally came, it was used as a jail for Indigenous people. And I think for me here this week, it's been really valuable hearing a lot about the Indigenous experiences in Canada, and have loved attending the reconciliation sessions. I think between Australia and Canada, we have a lot of shared bad history and a lot of hopefully shared future positivity that we can bring. I found it very beneficial to be here on National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and meeting and talking to people about that and seeing it being recognised so strongly. Aboriginal history is over 65,000 years old, regarded as one of the longest continuous living cultures. Before settlers came to Australia, and certainly to Western Australia, with our nomadic tribes through the country, we have 66 different Indigenous languages just in Western Australia. Example here, a photo from one of our many guides and experiences that are emerging as trails grow in our state and tourism for Aboriginal experiences grown in the state. And I'm looking forward to ensuring that you get an opportunity to connect with those. I want to talk about culture, and earlier in the week, it was in the reconciliation session, Kevin talked about the recognising you all as his people, and that connection between First Nations people, the land, and the fact that people involved in the trails industry get that. And I believe definitely in Western Australia, my hometown, where I obviously spend so much time, is that we've got a real culture of trails in Western Australia that has come from that connection with our First Nations people and everything that I've mentioned prior. To try and illustrate this connection, I'm going to show you this picture. If anybody can tell me what's going on there, they're a better person than I am. This is Aussie rules football. If anybody's, hands up for anybody who might have watched a game of Aussie rules. Okay, so quite a few of you. I'm assuming most of you, like me, had pretty much no idea what's going on. It takes a bit of a while to get used to, and often refer to the fact that there are no rules. But the reason I pull this picture up is, like hockey here in Canada, Aussie rules is the focus for everybody in Australia. They adore it. It's on the TV all the time. It dominates the news. It dominates the talk radio. Our season has just finished. It was the grand final last weekend. I can guarantee the next 3 months we will not stop hearing about the grand final and everything football related. So it's a real religion, a real passion for everybody in our state. But there's a great fact that comes out of our government agencies who have looked at participation in sport and what we call bushwalking, trail walking, participation in trail walking. And that data tells us there are more people who bushwalk in Australia than there are people who play Aussie rules. That tells me we've got a great culture of trails and engagement on the trails. Let's get on to talking very quickly about some of these trails. So our state government in Western Australia has invested a lot of money, time and energy over the years in developing our trail system. We have many strategic plans that have been developed to ensure we've got great stewardship and a lot of investment into creating new towns. The image on screen there is from an old coal mining town called Collie, which is an hour and a half to 2 hours. I obviously drive faster than you. Hour and a half to the south of us in Perth. And as Collie had been in decline for many years with the coal mining industry dying, the state government started investing heavily into developing that town. It's developed that town around a network of trails. Trails have been the thing that have given that town a lifeblood again. So as you can see on the screen there, 37 trails have been built, including an 82-kilometre loop trail around the dam in the centre of the town. One of my colleagues here is from Trails WA, which is an independent organisation that has stewardship for marketing and promoting 1,000 trails that are sanctioned throughout our state. If you scan the QR code there, you can access those and find out a bit more about the trails you can come and enjoy when you're here. The Trails WA team have also developed a framework for governing what should be a trail town. So Collie was announced as a trail town earlier this year. We have only one other trail town at this moment because we put pretty stringent guidelines on what we expect a trail town to look like. But a great example of how, again, trails are bringing regeneration back to what was a dying town. We've got a couple of mega trails as well, and I picked up the term mega trails recently when I spoke to Julian, and now when I'm here talking in front of you Canadians and you've got the Trans-Canada Trail, I kind of feel like I shouldn't really be calling it a mega trail, but I'm going to call it a mega trail. We've got two. We have the Mundabiddi Trail, which runs from Perth down to the south coast. It's 1,000 kilometres. It's a dedicated mountain bike trail. For any of you mountain bikers, definitely bring a mountain bike. We have a unique feature on our lands, which is stuff called pea gravel. It's like cycling on ball bearings. It is really hard. Bring anything for a bit of skin protection, you're going to come off your bike, I can guarantee. Weaving its way across the Mundabiddi, we also have this track called the Bibbulmun Track, which I think more of you are probably very familiar with. I know our friends here at the Bruce Trail, it's a sister trail for the Bruce. And again, a very popular pursuit for many. I've got a colleague who retired recently and spent 56 days hiking that, loved it. I'm now very jealous because he's now backpacking around the world as well, so loving his Instagram and his posts. Depending on how long you come for, you might not have enough time to do 2,000k stretches, but we've also got the Cape to Cape track, which is one of our very popular tracks. It follows the coastline from the Southern Ocean up through, very varied scenery that you'll get through there. But the most important thing about the Cape to Cape track is it goes through Margaret River, which is a winery region. So you are pretty much guaranteed to be stopping at a winery every time you stop. And we've got some good reds, we've got some great whites, some good rosés. We've also got an emerging beer scene as well, so I think we've got all your bases covered there. But talking about finishing an event, I'm going to finish my chat and give you a quick video that you can view to get hopefully a bit more of an appetite for the kind of things we can have in store for you in Western Australia, and really hope to see many of you there in 2026.
Welcome to the World Trails Conference, Western Australia 2026. Your gateway to exploring the untouched wilderness, rich cultural heritage, and breathtaking trails of Western Australia. Discover the natural beauty this region has to offer, from dramatic coastal paths to rugged outback scenery, where the diverse landscapes will captivate you at every turn. Immerse yourself in the rich culture of the Aboriginal people, whose ancient stories and deep connection to the land bring new meaning to every trail. Experience Western Australia's commitment to sustainable trail development through innovative practices that protect the environment while creating lasting pathways. Engage with the passionate trail community, individuals and organisations dedicated to shaping Western Australia's trail networks through collaboration and innovation. Join us in 2026 and be part of a global movement redefining trail experiences for generations to come.